Okay, welcome to Algebra 1, Saxon, 3rd edition, Lesson 43. Let's get right down to this. We're going to cover a couple of different things, least common multiple, or LCM, and then finding the least common multiples of algebraic expressions. Now, least common multiple is a review for you. You've had this when you had pre-algebra or algebra 1/2. So let's say we find the least common multiple of 3 and 4. A multiple is a number that is it's a bigger number than 3 or 4. So if you can do it this way, you can list the multiples of 3 and the multiples of 4 and find the smallest one that they have in common would be 12. So you see that 24 is also in common, but it is not the least. 12 is the least. So we call the smallest number that can be divided evenly by each group of specified numbers the least common multiple of those numbers. We can find the LCM of some numbers by making mental calculations. It's just pretty easy, like 3 and 4. But it's good to have a special procedure to use if some of the numbers are large. So this is the procedure that you're going to follow. Number 1, write each number as a product of prime factors. You've been doing that for a long time. And then 2, compute the LCM by using every factor of the given numbers as a factor of the LCM. Now you have to use every different factor at least one time, and you use each one the greatest number of times that it's a factor in any of the numbers. Alright, so let's practice this. Let's find the LCM of 8, 15, and 100. Alright, so if we do prime factorization of 8, we get 2 times 2 times 2. 15, we get 3 times 5. And 100, we would get 2 times 2, which is 4, times 5 times 5, which is 25, so 4 times 25. Alright, so figuring the LCM, we're going to have to use 2, 3, and 5. Those are the 3 different factors that we have. Here we have no 2's. Here we have 2 to the second, and here we have 2 cubed. So we're going to use 2 cubed times, we only have 3 one time, times, here we have 5 one time, but here we have 5 squared, so we're going to use 5 squared. Alright, so we know 2 cubed is 8 times 3 times 25. Alright, well, 8 times 25, 8 quarters would be 200, and 200 times 3 is 600. Okay, so that was all review of things you've already been doing, finding least common multiple. Let's take it to the next level, shall we, for algebra. Alright, finding the least common multiple of an algebraic expression. And here I found a really nice picture with some colors showing you that that whole process. But let's look here. Find the LCM of 12x squared a m squared and 14x cubed a m to the 4th. Alright, so we're first going to do the numbers 12 and 14. 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. And 14 is 2 times 7. So I'm going to have to use 2, 3, and 7. 2 is used twice in 12, so I'm going to use 2 squared, and then I have a 3 and a 7. Now, that's pretty easy. That's what you already know how to do. But now here, x squared, we've got x times x, a, and then m squared. So we know we're going to be using x, a, and m. We're going to use those to their largest or greatest power. Here we have x cubed, which beats x squared, so we'll use x cubed. A is once in both, and m here is used to the fourth. So when you multiply all that out, you have 2 squared is 4, 4 times 3, and then that 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 7 is 84, and then simply x cubed a m to the fourth. Pretty easy, right? Good, I'm glad you think so. Look at another one, okay? The LCM of a and a squared would be a squared. LCM of a squared and ab would be a squared b. AB squared and a squared b would be a squared b squared. And then a cubed b and a squared b squared would be a cubed b squared. Alright, here I've done one for you. Follow along with me. Find the LCM of 15a squared b and 10ab cubed. So 15 is 3 times 5 and 10 is 2 times 5. So I know I'm going to be using 2, 3, and 5. I only have each one of them to the first power, so 2 times 3 times 5 is 30. A squared and a, I'm going to use a squared. B and b cubed, I'm going to use b cubed. So 30a squared b cubed is the least common multiple of these two numbers. Okay, let's do our practice problems. 14, 20, and 30. 14, 20, and 30. 14 is 2 times 7. 20 is 4 times 5, which is 2 times 2 times 5. And 30 is 3 times 10, so 3 times 2 times 5. Alright, so I'm going to be multiplying 2, 7, 5, and 3. Those are the 4 different factors I have. Here I have 1, 2, here I have 1, 2, but in 20 I have 2 squared, so I'm going to use 2 squared. I only have 1, 3. I have 5 once in 2 different numbers, so it's 5 to the first, and then I have 7. So here I've got 5 times 7 is 35, and 35, trying to do this in my head, 35 times 4 is 140, and 140 times 3 is 420, would be the least common multiple. Okay, 75 is 3 times 5 times 5, or 3 times 25. 120 is, let's see, 2 times 60. 60 is 2 times 30. 30 is 2 times 3 times 5. Alright, and then 315. This one I'm probably not going to be able to do in my head. So let's see. Let's use 3 here. 105. And here I'm going to use 5 and go 21, 3, and 7. So 315 is 3, 3, 5, 7. Alright, so the different factors, I've got 2, 3, 5, and 7. I've got 2 cubed. I've got 3 squared is the biggest it's used. I've got 5 squared, and then I've got 1, 7. So I've got 8 times 9 times 25 times 7. And I will let you do that on your calculator. I don't have mine with me, but that's the procedure, and that's how you'd find the answer. All right, 4 a cubed b to the 4th, and 6 a to the 10th b squared. All right, 4 is 2 times 2, and 6 is 2 times 3. So I've got 2 squared, and I've got 3. So basically, 4 times 3 is 12. A to the 10th beats A cubed, so I'm going to use A to the 10th. B to the 4th beats B squared, so I'm going to use B to the 4th. That's so much easier to do it that way. All right, final one. 12 is 2 times 2 times 3, and 20 is 2 times 2 times 5. So I've got 2, 3, and 5. 2 is used to the second power both times, so we're going to have 2 squared times 3 times 5, or 4 times 3, which is 12, times 5 is 60. All right, x to the 4th, x to the 6th. X to the 6th wins. Y squared beats y, and m cubed, so I'm going to use m cubed. Isn't that easy? All right, good. I'll see you guys again for lesson 44. Enjoy your math today.